There's a lot that goes into buying a house. I know this. I know that you know this as well. Looking for the home that you want, making sure you're pre-approved. Do I have enough money? Can I qualify? Should I buy now? Should I buy later? I was just out with one of my clients and we were discussing a couple things that actually came up while they were searching for a home. And I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss with you guys what you shouldn't do while you're out looking for a house. Hey guys, Rick Hartunian here, real estate agent and investor in Maryland. Let's jump right into a few of the things that we need to talk about and what you shouldn't be doing while you're out shopping for a house. This goes for any time of the year, right? But especially in this market, there's a few things that you really need to make sure you're not doing while you're looking for the home that you want to purchase. I'm going to start with something basic, and it doesn't have to be about a full pre-approval, but I want you guys to at least have a discussion with a lender or a bank on your finances and your basic pre-approval amount. Once you get out searching for homes with an agent or just on Zillow or Redfin, which are pretty good by the way, I think it becomes very difficult to work backwards if you get yourself used to looking at homes in a different price point. If you have someone telling you that you're not able to purchase that house or buy the house that you want, you seem to take it a little bit personally. And I don't blame you. It's always tough hearing that from an outside source. So if you find a lender through your agent, right, or on your own, and you have that discussion, it'll really set the stage of the types of homes that you should be looking for. And if you have a good agent, they're gonna cap you off on your search. So you actually aren't, unless you go off on your own, you're not able to look at any homes above a certain price point. It's really gonna save you frustration moving forward, and especially searching for a home, and it's gonna keep things nice and smooth for you. Another thing you wanna focus on while shopping for a house is not buying anything major. Do not buy a car, do not buy furniture. Do your best to keep things exactly as they were when you initially had that conversation for the pre-approval, okay? When you buy a car, obviously your finances change. Your credit changes. There's a lot that goes into that. You get a hard inquiry on your credit as well. When you get that pre-approval, the lender or the bank is looking at your finances exactly as they were that day. If they change too much, they're gonna get notified and it's gonna throw off your entire pre-approval. So not only may you not be able to afford that home that you want based on your personal situation, but now your ducks aren't in a row, which is something I always talk about. You have to go back through the pre-approval process, have that conversation again, and get another pre-approval letter for what may be a different amount. Okay, this is going to cause a major headache for you. Do not purchase anything major like a car or furniture during the home search. Now this third one should really be the first one. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but do not miss any credit card or bill payments. If you get flagged, especially on a missed credit card payment, your credit's going to shoot down by 50 to 75 points or more depending on your personal credit situation. You do not want to miss any payments. Even if you have things on auto pay, make sure that the accounts the payments are coming from are funded. Do not let some small mistake like missing a payment throw off your chances for buying a home. Especially now as we're out looking in this market, there's very few homes available. Inventory is still super low. You want to do everything in your power to make sure that your finances stay the same and you have the best chance at winning whatever house you're putting an offer in on. And missing a payment is certainly one of those things that are in your control. Don't miss any payments. Now guys, this next one could be a little difficult depending on your situation, but you really don't want to change jobs while you're searching for a home. When you speak to your lender, if that is something that's going to be coming up, make sure you let them know. There are different qualifications or different scenarios in each state, I guess you can say. But here in Maryland, you really want to be at your job for about 3 months before you can get that pre-approval. So if it's something where you're going to change jobs, or if you haven't been working for a little while, it's a different story, but you're going to want an offer letter, you're going to want a few things that are in place that your lender will be aware of, but really try and time buying a home without changing your job. Once you go for that pre-approval, we really want to keep everything the same. And it's going to kind of be the running theme throughout the rest of these tips here on what not to do when shopping for a home. Which goes into the next point here, don't move money around. Try your best not to make any large deposits, especially cash deposits, after you have that pre-approval. It's very difficult for a lender to keep things on track and source all this money that you are now putting into a different account. Every lender or bank has to find out where that original money is coming from. And if it's being transferred from, say, someone else's bank account or is given as a gift, all those things, if known up front, can be handled. But if you're doing it during the shopping of a new home, it makes things very clunky and confusing for that lender. So we have to source every place that this money is coming from, which can simply just take time and put you in a bad position if you're ready to put offers in on homes. Guys, the sixth one is don't get any more hard inquiries on your credit. When you go for something like, say, a new phone plan, you may not realize it, but the company is pulling your credit score to see how big of a risk you are, that you're able to pay for it every month. Same thing goes for different credit cards and many other things that you may be purchasing, which you shouldn't be doing. But try your best not to get any hard inquiries. All this does is alert the lender that you're trying to take out more debt. That's not something that we want them to think, right? We want them to think that this is the major purchase for right now. Whatever you do afterwards is going to be at the discretion of you and whatever other lender, bank, it's between you and them. But for now, we don't want the banks or the lenders to think that you're trying to take out more loans or bring on any more debt while you're searching for a home. Number 7, guys, don't spend the money you have saved to buy a home, right? Again, it's sometimes easier said than done. We all have bills. We have maybe rent to pay, depending on your situation, but the conversations you should be having with your real estate agent before you even start this process, very simply, is what do your savings look like? Depending on the kind of loan you're applying for with your lender, there's going to be different amounts of money that you should and will need to have saved in your bank account. Anything coming as a down payment needs to come from you. Okay, I have other videos on this that go into more detail, and there'll be more to come in the future, but the down payment has to come from your bank account as the buyer. That could be 3%, 3.5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, you have to make sure that that's coming from you, okay? The closing costs can come from the seller. Now, on average, try and calculate whatever the price of the home is. Between 3 and 4% is what you'll need to have saved to bring to the table for closing costs. It could be less, it could be more. But on average, that's a good kind of calculation just to have in the back of your mind to see what your savings look like. So, with that said, don't go spending that money during the process of buying your home. If it's something you can't control, like a bill or finances that just come up in your personal lives, just keep everyone aware of it. But if we go searching for a home and I'm your agent and we're working with a lender, we assume that you have a certain amount saved up based on previous conversations. So if we go put an offer in on a house and I think that you have the down payment for that and you also have the closing costs saved up, I know what kind of offer I should be structuring for you to win that house, right? If you go spend that money and now last second, I find out that you don't have enough savings, it's not something that, we can absolutely work around that. However, we now have to structure a totally different offer for you, and it just won't keep things as smooth as possible. I'm not able to put your best foot forward, or whatever agent you're working with won't be able to put your best foot forward to win you that home. So try and be as transparent as possible, but simply whatever savings you have saved for a house, 6 months before you're even ready to get started, a year, sometimes years, try and stay and stick to that plan and putting a certain amount of money aside to save for a down payment and for closing costs on a home, which is about 3 to 4% of the purchase price. Lastly, guys, don't overpay for a house. Now, I know that really doesn't have much to do with what not to do while shopping for a house. It kind of happens when you already buy the house, but whatever agent you're working with, make sure you have that discussion on the areas you're searching and how much the home is currently valued, right? We're in a very crazy time in the real estate market where homes are a bit overvalued, at least in my opinion, and I do think that there's gonna be a market correction coming soon. However, it's hard to kind of use that and justify it on whether or not you should buy a home, right? Everyone has their own situation. If you're moving, if you're changing school districts, if something's coming up where you have to buy right now, money's cheap. Make sure you're not just wildly overpaying for a house in a specific area where you're now the most expensive house on the block, even if it will appraise, because that will make it harder to sell in the future. So have a very candid discussion about the market, the stats, both present, past, and where, the best you can to think about the future with your agent and find out kind of where those home values are. Then have a discussion internally with you, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever's buying the home, and find out what your actual timeline is. If it's something where you need to buy right now, so be it. Then just do your best to get a deal, quote unquote, deal on the house, which is very hard right now, or just go ahead and purchase. But if you can wait a little bit, it may not be the worst idea to hang tight just until we get past this next winter going into 2021, get past the presidential election. Things will change slightly. Forbearance is due, so homes will be dropping in price because there's going to be, I believe, a few more homes that are coming available. Kind of bring up the inventory, which will only bring down the home values. So if you have any questions about that, comment below. I'll be having, actually, I believe my next video is going to be about where I believe the market's going coming towards 2021. So either reach out to me personally or comment below if you want anything specific on that. But number 8 here, guys, don't overpay for your house. All right, guys, that's the end of this video here. I just wanted to bring to your attention some of the top things you shouldn't be doing while shopping for a house. I really hope this helps you as you get started, or maybe you're in the middle of it. Feel free to reach out and ask me any questions on anything real estate related, whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an investor. I will have more videos coming out, so click subscribe below. Click the bell for notifications. I'm putting out videos once a week. I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe if you like what you're seeing so far, and give me suggestions on what to change and what topics to do. Again, I'm located in Maryland, but a lot of this will go for anyone all over the country. So I'll see you guys in the next video.